What if the man who held your heart in his words, the one who saw your scars and whispered healing into the night, was nothing but pixels and lies? Imagine pouring out your soul to a ghost, only to wake up hollowed out, wondering if love was ever real. This isn't just a tale of stolen cash. It's the raw ache of emotional chains that bind tighter than any vow. Stick with me, dear listener, and by the end, you'll uncover the shattering truth that set me free. Or did it? Happy listening! Oh, where do I even start? My name's Eleanor, and at 65, I thought I'd seen it all. Widowed after 40 years with Tom, raising 2 kids who flew the nest, knitting circles on rainy afternoons in my cozy suburban living room with its faded floral curtains. Life was quiet, like a half-read book gathering dust. But loneliness? It creeps in like fog off the lake, thick and unrelenting. That's when I dipped my toes into online dating. You know, those apps everyone whispers about, but no one over 60 admits to using. Just for company, I told myself, sipping chamomile tea at my oak kitchen table, the screen glowing like a forbidden lantern. It was a crisp autumn evening, leaves crunching underfoot as I walked my little terrier, Max, around the neighborhood park. Back home, I scrolled through profiles, men with fishing poles, grandkids on shoulders, all so safely ordinary. Then there he was, John. His photo showed a rugged 58-year-old with salt and pepper hair, warm hazel eyes crinkling in a genuine smile, standing by a weathered cabin porch, flannel shirt rolled up over strong forearms. Looking for a real connection, his bio read, "Someone to share sunsets and stories with." My heart did a little flip. Silly, I know, but after Tom's final days in the hospital bed, machines beeping like accusations, I craved stories again. We matched, and oh, the messages flew like sparks. "Eleanor, your profile pic with that garden, it's like you've bottled summer," he wrote first. I blushed, fingers hovering over keys. My garden, just petunias and roses and clay pots on the back deck. But his words made me feel seen, alive. We chatted about everything. My love for old jazz records spinning on the vintage player in my den. His tales of hiking misty trails that sounded just like the ones near my reservoir. "You get me," I typed back, heart pounding, like no one's ever before. Days blurred into weeks. Voice notes came next, his voice deep and gravelly like aged whiskey, laughing at my joke about burning toast. "Eleanor's got fire," he'd say. I played them on loop while folding laundry in the sunlit utility room, imagining his arms around me. But doubts, they were whispers at first. Why no video calls? "Text glitchy out here in the woods," he'd explain. I bought it. Hook, line, sinker. God, I was lonely. One night, as rain pattered against my bay window, he shared a secret. His daughter lost to illness young, how it broke him. Tears stung my eyes. I confessed my own. Tom's final days in the hospital bed, machines beeping like accusations. "We're survivors, you and I," he soothed. That bond, it felt unbreakable, a lifeline in the digital dark. But then his message shifted. "Eleanor, things are tight. Lost my job at the mill. Could use a hand." My stomach twisted. Was this the crack in the facade? Little did I know, it was just the beginning of the unraveling. What if helping him meant losing myself? Waking up to John's texts became my morning ritual. Better than the first sip of coffee from my chipped mug. I'd sit at the breakfast nook, sunlight filtering through lace curtains, replaying his words in my head. "You're my anchor, Ellie," he'd call me. Ellie, like Tom used to, before the years wore it thin. It stirred something deep, a warmth I'd buried under layers of routine. Grocery runs to the corner market, book club chats over lemon squares at the community center. But John? He peeled those layers back, gentle as unwrapping a gift. Our conversations deepened, like roots twisting underground. He'd ask about my dreams, the ones I shelved young, like painting watercolors of the autumn woods instead of homemaking. You should have chased that, he'd say, voice note crackling with sincerity. I'd laugh it off, but inside, it bloomed. I shared vulnerabilities I'd never voiced. The guilt over not traveling more with Tom, the fear of fading into invisibility at 65, wrinkles mapping regrets like rivers on a worn atlas. You're radiant, Ellie. Don't let age dim that, he'd reply. Radiant? Me? With my silver bob haircut framing laugh lines? Blue eyes still sharp, but tired from sleepless nights. We built fantasies together. Picnics by the lakeside gazebo, where locals fish on weekends, his hand in mine as we strolled leaf strewn paths. One day soon, he promised. I believed it, pouring hours into responses, neglecting my weekly calls with daughter Sarah. Mom, you sound distant, she'd say over the phone, her voice tinny from across state lines. Distant? No, just enchanted. But the asks started small. Could you spot me $50 for gas? Pay you back next week? I wired it via app, heart fluttering. Trust, right? That's what love is. Then came the stories that hooked me tighter. His ex drama, a bitter split, leaving him in a rundown trailer by the highway, echoes of my own post Tom solitude in this empty two-story with its creaky stairs. We heal each other, I thought, staring at his photo on my laptop screen late one night, candle flickering on the mantle. Emotional? God, yes. It was like he'd mapped my soul. But cracks widened, delayed replies, excuses about spotty signal. Paranoia nipped at me during solo dinners of soup and crackers. Was I fooling myself? The mini crisis hit during a stormy evening, thunder rumbling like warnings. Ellie, emergency, car broke down, need $200 to tow it. You're my only hope. My fingers trembled on the keyboard. Send or not? I thought of Tom's steady hand in mine during his chemo fog. This was different. Raw, real. I sent it, whispering, hang there. His gratitude poured in. My guardian angel. Elation washed over me. But as I lay in bed, sheets cool against skin, a chill settled. What if his thanks were just another veil? The real storm was brewing, and I was walking right into it. By now, John was woven into my days like the Afghans I crocheted in the rocking chair by the fireplace, yarn tangling just like my thoughts. I'd catch myself humming tunes from our shared playlists, soft ballads about lost loves, while watering the ferns in my sunroom, their fronds curling like questions. At 65, I'd convinced myself this was reinvention, a second chance at passion, pixels be damned. But oh, the manipulation. It slithered in subtle, a siren song I couldn't resist. We delved into the shadows. One midnight chat, he confessed a dark past, prison time for a bar fight, reformed now, but haunted. Does it scare you, Ellie? I paused, cursor blinking. Scare me? It thrilled me, this flawed man mirroring my own hidden fractures. The sharp words I'd flung at Tom in stress, the dreams of escape I'd stifled. I typed, no, it makes you human. Human. That's what he made me feel too. desired, with messages like, "Your voice in my head keeps the demons at bay." I'd record replies, voice soft in the quiet house, Max snoring at my feet. Dialogues turned intimate. "Tell me your deepest fear," he'd probe. "Being alone forever," I admitted, tears blurring the screen. He countered with his, abandonment, echoing my widow's ache. It bonded us, this mutual unveiling. But the polls grew bolder. "Lost my wallet on a hike. $300 for meds? Flu's kicking my butt." Meds? My nurse days flashed, bandaging Tom's wounds. I sent it, pulse racing, then paced the linoleum kitchen floor, doubt gnawing. "He's real," I muttered, Bruin decaf in the percolator. Friends at bingo night noticed. "Eleanor, you're glowing and distracted." Glowing or glowing embers of a fool's fire? Fall deepened, leaves turning the neighborhood streets into a crimson carpet, mirroring the flush of excitement and fear that colored my world. John's presence was constant now, a digital hum in my pocket phone, buzzing during errands at the hardware store for bird seed, or chats with neighbors over fence lines. At 65, I felt 45 again, alive with secrets. But the weight? It pressed like humidity before a storm, heavy in my chest. Our exchanges evolved into confessions that bared bones. "Ellie, I dream of you." He texts, detailing visions of us dancing in a moonlit barn, his hands, strong from millwork, on my waist. I'd blush in the privacy of my powder room, mirror reflecting flushed cheeks under soft bulb light. Internal whirlwinds raged. Is this madness or magic? Tom never spoke like this. Our love was steady bread, not spiced wine. John spiced it, but the spice burned. Requests escalating. "Family emergency, $500? Sister?" He'd mentioned her once, a ghost in his lore. I wired it, hand shaking over tea at the scarred oak table, then called my son Mike for advice. "Mom, video call him, see his face." But John dodged. "Cameras busted. Trust me?" Trust. That's the hook that reeled me in deeper. During a late night call, rain the lashing windows, he broke. "Ellie, I'm in deep debts from the ex. One last push, $2,000, and I'm free. Then I come to you." Come to me. Visions flooded. Him at my front door, duffel in hand, hazel eyes real under the porch light. I poured out my soul then, fears of irrelevance, joys of rediscovery. "You've given me wings," I sobbed. He soothed, voice velvet. "And you've mended my brakes." Emotional high? Stratospheric. But lo, the crash loomed. Winter whispered in on frosty breaths, blanketing the town in white, as crisp as the clarity that finally pierced my haze. I sat in the breakfast nook, untouched oatmeal cooling, staring at the silent phone like a traitor's blade. At 65, I danced on the edge of folly, but now, resolve hardened, like ice on the neighborhood pond where kids skate. John's last message lingered. "Ellie, don't abandon me." Abandon? The word twisted, flipping the script. Who was truly lost? I dove into detective mode, fueled by chamomile and sheer will, laptop open on the kitchen island under pendant lights. Forums, tips from online widows groups, trace IP, check inconsistencies. His stories, holes everywhere. Mill job in a town I'd never pinpointed, hikes matching my local trails too neatly. A hired snoop, $200, well spent, confirmed it. John was a 30-something scammer from overseas. Photos stolen, voice modulated, not a 58 hazel-eyed charmer, but a faceless thief of trust. Devastation crashed like waves on the lakeshore, sobs racking me in the empty living room, jazz records, silent witnesses. How did I miss it? Internal screams echoed. The emotional gut punch dwarfed the $4,550 gone. Scarves from lies that echoed Tom's beddeath truths unspoken. I'd bared my fears, dreams, only for them to be weapons. Phone calls to kids. "Mom, we're here," Sarah soothed, driving over with pie. Hugs in the hallway thawed the freeze. Bingo nights resumed, laughter tentative but real. Yet in the wreckage, wisdom bloomed. Advice from this fool's heart? Ladies, back glow from screens, test it with light, video, meets, gut checks. Loneliness tempts, but real love doesn't beg in shadows. It steps into the sun. John's ghost, blocked, deleted, but echoes lingered in quiet moments, a cautionary whisper. I started painting again. Watercolors of fiery leaves, defiant strokes on canvas in the sunroom. The finale, tragic in loss, but open to rebirth. One spring day, walking Max past the gazebo, a real smile caught mine, a gentleman's nod from the park bench, book in hand. No rush, I nodded back, heart cautious but curious. Love's tapestry frays, but we reweave, stronger, wiser. If you're listening, entangled in your own web, pause, unravel before it unravels you. You've got stories left untold. Don't let phantoms steal them.